Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. I'm Becca, and on this channel I have been reacting my way through eating disorder recovery alongside multiple chronic illnesses, one video at a time, and it has been such a fun ride and such a soul-fulfilling journey to connect with all of you in all of these comments, in all of these videos, hearing some of your stories. I love this. The reception that you continue to give these videos is so surreal to me and amazes me, and I just, as always, want to say thank you. In March, I reacted to a song for one of my favorite artists, JJ Heller, and that song was Only Time Will Tell, and in that reaction I had a pretty big recovery realization light bulb moment. It was a song about a husband and a wife getting married, and then the husband sort of becoming the caregiver because the wife is chronically ill, and all the stuff that comes with that, obviously very near and dear to my heart and our experience. And today she's released a song called Letter to My High School Self, in parentheses, Be Kind. And while I have a few other videos I'm hoping to get to today, this is the one that I want to record first because I want to be able to listen to it because I hate not listening to JJ songs. I do quickly want to note in her newsletter that came out yesterday, I believe, or this morning when the song first came out at like midnight, she mentioned that 5 years ago or so, she actually wrote a letter to her high school self and the things that she wished she had been able to know, the things that she wishes her current self could have told her high school self to prevent all of the different struggles that she had, the anxiety, the panic, the different just general things that come with being a high schooler that are very difficult things to go through, especially when you're that age and literally going through them. So I told Roger, I said, I'm sure this JJ song's not going to be emotional at all. He texts me back and he's like, yeah, totally not. That's not JJ's thing at all. That is totally JJ's thing. She totally hits me in the feels every daggone time. So let's get into the song. JJ Heller, Letter to My High School Self, parentheses, Be Kind.
I'm writing you this letter 'cause I've walked in your shoes. I hope that you will read this when you're feeling confused. The hardest part of high school is living in between the person you're becoming and the kid you used to be.
Okay, before she gets into the pre-chorus and the hook there, it's the beat in this, the instrumental, that piano, it's very, very light, very kind of upbeat. It's got a nice, like, just general upbeat, positive vibe to it, but it's also very emotional. Now, in a good way emotional, you can tell these are going to be encouraging, positive messages about life, and also probably some things about how things were difficult. But the emotion that I'm feeling right now, the tears that are already starting to well up in my eyes, feels a little juxtaposed with the instrumental in the background here, and I love the way that she's able to do that. As far as the lyrics are, really quickly, it's not like there's a whole lot of super double entendre meaning and all of that, but I do want to touch on a couple things. One pretty common thing to do in therapy, to do in coaching, to do in any time that you're going through a process of trying to like heal yourself, connect to your inner child and all of that, is to write a letter to yourself at whatever age you needed to hear the things that you still are struggling to learn or believe or accept in life. And that's a really powerful thing to do when you're able to tap into it. And I love that she has put that into song form here when I know she did it herself several years ago. But that second verse where she said the hardest part of high school is living in between the person you're becoming and the kid you used to be. I can't tell you how much I hated high school. Cannot tell you. A lot of people are like, well, high school, the best years of your life. Now, personally, I loved college, but I hated high school. You could not pay me millions of dollars to redo high school. Could not pay me. And a big part of it was that I so badly wanted to still be the little kid that I was, wanted to do all of the little kid things, but then there were also all these more mature things that were coming in, and I had to prepare for that. And then as high school progressed further, I got closer to college, and while I ended up loving college, it was still another huge change. But just going from middle school to high school, that summer transition, going from middle school to high school for me, is when I lost it so much that I first fell down the spiral of disorder with my eating disorder for the first time. So that living in between and not knowing who the heck you're gonna be, trying to figure yourself out, which is hard for literally every teenager and high school student. Yeah, that's the hardest part, at least one of them.
And the kid you used to be, dizzy from the highs and lows, you can't see which way to go. I've been there too. Here's what you do: be kind, be strong, believe you belong, love God, work hard, just be who you are.
few words JJ can use to completely destroy my composure. To completely destroy my composure. I gotta catch my breath, hold on. So that pre-chorus spoke to my heart for sure. It says, dizzy from the highs and lows, you can't see which way to go. I've been there too, here's what you do. And I knew that that pre-chorus was going into a chorus that was most likely going to destroy me, and as you saw, it very much did. The lyrics of that chorus, again, being very simple, yet so daggone profound and emotional. It says, be kind, be strong, and I like the way that the next one was believe. So like, be kind and be strong, those are two extremely powerful things. But they're two separate words. Believe is one word, obviously, but on the post-it notes of the lyric video here, they had be kind, be strong, and I love the way that they still split up believe, even though you could tell it was one word. And then the next part's what took me out. It said, believe you belong. So be kind, be strong, believe you belong. And that's where I first lost it, because I can't tell you a single time throughout high school, throughout middle school, throughout elementary school, anytime, but especially throughout high school, but literally any time of my life that I felt like I really belonged. I always felt like I was wrong, like my very existence was wrong. In the past year and a half or so, we have recently learned some things about my brain that we did not know were going on and have been lifelong things, and explain a lot of that to me and make sense of a lot of the way that I had felt my entire life. But just feeling different and feeling wrong and feeling like I don't belong at my core, at that inherent soul level, and then also adding that layer of high school that everyone goes through when everyone is dealing with that kind of just confusion and not feeling like they belong, whether it's something they've always felt or something that just kind of surfaces as a result of being a teenager, as it often does. I don't know what my high school self would have said if I said, be kind, be strong, believe you belong. The feeling she would have said, I can't believe that. I can't believe that, because I've never felt like I belong. Then she finishes out the chorus with, love God, work hard, just be who you are, and kind of tying that back into believe you belong. It was really hard for me to be who I was. Now, don't get me wrong, I have always marched to the beat of my own drummer. I have always done whatever the heck I wanted to do without worrying about people's opinion, as far as like things that I'm really passionate about or things that I go all out and do. But on a day-to-day interaction level, on a day-to-day existence level throughout high school, I couldn't just be who I was, because who I was rejected. Now, I could hide all of that with my high academic achievements, with the fact that I was in all these clubs, I was doing all this stuff, checking off all the checklist things, but I never felt like I could really embrace who I was, because who I was so often shut down, was so often put down, and then was told, oh, I was just making a joke, you shouldn't have taken it seriously, when I could hear that there was some truth to what they said. Like, I wish I could have been who I really was, because at this point in life, I've lost touch with whoever I used to be at some point in life. Whoever I really am, I'm still trying to find that. Part of that, I think, is because I had to intentionally not be who I am in my core to try to feel accepted, or just to get through the day. All right, let's go to the next verse.
Just be who you are. You wanna feel important. Oh, but don't be fooled by fame. 'Cause everyone who loves you already knows your name. And when you have a house someday, there won't be trophies on display. There's so much more worth living for.
Okay, before we get back into the chorus again, I gotta talk about those verses. But I gotta go get something to dry my eyes really quickly, because I'm a mess. So as she pointed out at the beginning of that next verse there, she said, you want to feel important, but don't be fooled by fame. And of course, all of us have this inherent human need to feel important, whether that's to feel accepted in high school, whether that's to feel like we have accomplished things and done all of this stuff, whether that has been to do whatever it is to make a name for ourselves in this world, because that's what we're taught we should ascribe to as far as society goes. They're like, you know, work hard, hustle culture, be and do all the things, even if it like leads to burnout, which it often will do, because this sense of feeling important in that way, of getting recognition and accolades and acknowledgement, that's what really matters. And don't be fooled by fame. That is not the way to do it. The next line she said, because everyone who loves you already knows your name. And it's so easy to get wrapped up in what everyone else, specifically your peers, but also teachers or different authority figures in your life, or colleges that you're applying to, or anything remotely like that. It's easy to get fixated on wanting that acceptance, wanting to feel acknowledged, wanting to feel feel validated and like you belong with those people. And it's really easy, especially when you're that age going through all of that, to lose sight of the fact that your family, your friends, whether it's your chosen family or your biological family or anyone that is around you that you consider a loved one, they already know your name. They already love you for who you are. So as you said, just be who you are. They already love you for who you are. You don't have to put on a front for them. And I realize not everyone's biological, traditional, in quotes there, family necessarily supports them in that way. So that's why I added this includes the friends that feel like family. This includes the chosen family that you may be a part of. This encompasses anyone who loves you because they love you for you and not because you put on this facade or do these things to just rack up these accomplishments and this sense of your name being known. They already love you for you and they know you. And the next verse really, like, I just lost it. You saw me losing it there. You said, and when you have a house someday, there won't be trophies on display. There's so much more worth living for. And I gotta tell you guys, my sister, my brother, and I all played sports. Now, I was never a super team sports person, but I played them in elementary school, then went on to do karate and ice skating and individual sports once I was older. But my sister played a lot of sports, I played sports, my brother played sports. We all had these different little, you know, the trophies and the statuettes and the sports pictures and all that stuff. There was literally like a bulletin board area in the basement where we just started putting all of that stuff on there. And it was like all of these accomplishments, all of these ribbons, all of these trophies, all of these different things like that. And that meant so much to see at that point in time. And since I refuse and my siblings refuse to let my parents get rid of any of that stuff, it is still at their house. And I go over and look through it sometimes. I'm like, you know, yeah, I'm filled with that sense of nostalgia and that sense of gratitude for being able to participate in things like that. However, as I'm listening to this verse, I'm also struck with the fact that guess what? Those things are in boxes in storage in my parents' house. For the most part, there is still a little bit of memorabilia left with a different whole themed corner in the basement because it's my dad's man cave. Anyway, it's a whole thing. There is still some stuff there, but the majority of it has been put into storage. And the lines there, when you have a house someday, there won't be trophies on display. Guess what? Those things aren't on display in my house right here because I'm an adult, because I'm trying to work on living out my life with who I am now and realizing that those things that I thought were the be-all end-all of everything are not the things that define my entire life. And the fact that they're not in my house proves that, even though they do hold meaning to me and hold significance to me. Real quick before we finish this out, I forgot to make note of this. I love the imagery here on the lyric video alone. This is not a music video, but the lyric video here. The fact that there's a trophy there in the locker, you can see a medal hanging down. There's another medal looks like hanging down below in the locker. It also looks like maybe there's some like chapstick or stuff hanging in the back of the locker, but that's neither here nor there. That might just be some metal of the locker itself. But I like the way that as she's saying these lines, and when you have a house someday, that then flies off, that post-it note flies off, then the next one there won't be trophies on display. That one then also peels off, and you see like these peeling off one at a time, 1, 2, 3 in a row while that trophy is there, and then that imagery just, I thought was really powerful because she's like, they won't be on display. These are not the important things. These things will fall away. All right, time to get back into the chorus. Let's go ahead and destroy me yet again, JJ. Yet again, as always.
There's so much more worth living for. Be kind, be strong, believe you belong. Love God, work hard, just be who you are. Let go of the last times, celebrate the first times, and keep your heart wide open.
Oh my gosh. As always, I'm fully convinced that JJ has my journal tapped. And she has for years, because the words that she writes are the words that my soul feels and needs to hear and resonates with and could say if I thought of them myself. Like, oh God. She said, let go of the last times. Celebrate the first times and keep your heart wide open. I can't tell you how many times in my life I literally have gotten into a panic, into hysterics, because I've been like, oh no, this is the last time I do this. This is the last time I do that. This is the last time I'm gonna be able to do that. And I got so fixated on all those last, and maybe it made those last times more powerful in the moment, but it also honestly kept me from being able to have that open mind and celebrating whatever new things were coming, whatever firsts were coming up. And that's an experience that I honestly didn't realize was as commonly human as it very clearly is, because JJ put it into perfect words in a if she has done that here, I can guarantee you that we're not the only two people that have felt that way. I can guarantee you there are hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of other people who can relate to that concept and having a hard time letting go of anything when it's going to be the last time and trying to embrace something new, because change is really hard. But when you are able to keep your heart open to change, to other people, to experiences, to love, to anything that life might bring you that is new, that is a first time thing, it can honestly just add so much more peace and joy and contentment and less tears to your life. All right, let's finish this out.
And keep your heart wide open.
I love her voice.
Be kind, be strong, believe you belong. Forgive yourself, don't be afraid to ask for help.
Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry for that there. I couldn't help but hug my knees to my chest because I was expecting the same chorus again. I didn't expect her to add new lines in. And those new lines destroyed me more than the others did. She repeated the line she had already said, you know, be kind, be strong, believe you belong. That of course got me, but then the next line she added in that I was not expecting. Oh, JJ. Why are you doing this to me, JJ? She said, forgive yourself. Don't be afraid to ask for help. And I can't tell you, again, can't tell you the number of days, the number of years of my life that I have spent in this place of self-hatred, of self-deprecation, of shame, of guilt, of never being able to forgive myself for anything, whether it was something that I got teased about and then therefore internalized as something that was wrong, or whether it was just something that, for whatever reason, I didn't feel like I was able to do, to be as my true self, to exist in this world, and then feel like I was wrong for trying to just exist and be myself, and not able to forgive myself for, heaven forbid, making a mistake. Oh my goodness, Becca, make a mistake? No, even though like my whole life right now is defined by mistakes. Like that's the really crappy reality, is that at 34, my life is basically defined by illness and mistakes, whether they were intentional or not. And I guess our mistakes are not intentional by nature, but I'm getting on a tangent here. I just wanted to say I still to this day have trouble forgiving myself for literally anything, whether it's something I actually need to work on that on, or whether it's something my mind has fixated on 10, 15, 20 years ago that I need to be able to let go of but can't because I lack the ability to forgive myself. And the don't be afraid to ask for help is a big one. I thankfully at this point in life have a very solid support system, whether that's my treatment team or my immediate family, and of course my husband is my number one ride or die. And I also am very thankful to be a member of a really awesome recovery community, which is just getting ready to open its doors. It only opens its doors a few times a year for membership, and it's literally getting ready to happen in mid-May. So I will put a link in the description below that is both to that community and has information about that, but also I'm going to throw a link to a quiz down there that is a quiz about discovering your recovery community personality type. So that's a really fun quiz to check out. I'll put those links below if you happen to be in need or in search of a recovery-based community, because honestly, I've been a part of it for just over a year and a half, and it has been absolutely invaluable in helping me feel comfortable and get better at reaching out for help when I need it, and knowing that that's okay, because literally everyone needs help at some point in time. Everyone needs help, and you can be surprised at the number of people who really want to support you. They just can't support you if they don't necessarily know you need the help. Let's rewind and hear this last chorus again as a whole so I don't pause it before it's over, and then we'll close it out. Oh my gosh, gosh, that was amazing. I love the way it was so cool. I'm gonna have to go back and watch this video and watch all the different ways that they're showing the post-its when they're adding the ones there and moving them and all that, because when they zoomed out at the end there and it said just be who you are in the shape of the post-its, like they use the post-its to spell that out. Oh my goodness. Talk about imagery that again may seem simple on the surface but holds so much deeper, profound meaning. The lyrics, the way that they made this lyric video with the post-it theme of high school, with the notebook there that had letter to my high school self, be kind on it, to the lockers, to everything there was just so perfect. If you can't tell that I'm excited because I'm like going like this all over the place, sorry, that was a little intense, but like that's how much energy I have right now, because that was a punch to the gut, but it was also, oh my gosh, so powerful, so well done, and it was just a lyric video. And when someone can put a lyric video out like that, that absolutely crushes my spirit and soul in the best way possible, that's magical to me. That is magic, and that's the mark of a true artist. And maybe I'm a little biased because JJ's been one of my favorite artists since 2005, but I'm sticking with it. And JJ, if you see this, again, not that you will, but if you ever do, thank you so much, as always, for reading my journal and writing a song that is perfect for me at any point in my life. Whenever these songs are released, they hit right when they need to, and I'm so thankful for your ability to share and put into words, and I'm really thankful that your high school teacher encouraged you to go to that advanced English creative writing class, because you have such a gift for putting words and human emotion into song like this and delivering it and communicating it on a very common human level. And that means I did read your newsletter. So if you ever wonder if people read your newsletters, there you go. That's how I got that information. Thank you, JJ. Thank you to anyone who has stopped by. If you haven't checked out this lyric video yet, go to JJ's channel just to watch the video itself. Give her the love, give her the support, because once again, she knocked it out of the park, and I will always be a proponent of going and supporting the original artist on their original work, especially when it's an artist that I highly esteem and love so daggone much. On that note, I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves.